Thank you, good night.
You're not getting off that either. Reagan, go
I heard
ahead.
that we're surveying having a community development coordinator. Is that what I heard earlier? Or what was it? Economic development. How much would that pay, do you know, leaving my follow-up?
As I recall looking at the budget, it's about $110,000 for the economic development position. However, you gotta remember, that's just not straight salary. That includes all the benefits. And I mean, I'm looking way back in time thinking I was told that like 50% of a pay is almost all in benefits. So when you're looking at vacation, and all the other health care that's included with it. I don't know the exact number that person's gonna get paid, but it's not $110,000.
And a follow-up to that, sorry, is a mile of road that's 18 feet wide, one lane each direction, costs about $130,000 to pave in Knox County. Do you think Farragut, being pretty similar, it'd be more worthwhile to put that yearly amount of money from the town into roads or into this new economic development seat, if that cost remains about consistent?
Well, what do you think the economic development person's gonna do?
I think that the person will communicate with businesses, or is supposed to, and set up opportunities for growth within the Farragut area.
And once again, I'm not an alderman yet, but as I understand it, the duties are spread across all kinds of different people in the town. So to consolidate those under one head, it makes a lot of sense to me. When it first came out, I wrote letters to all the aldermen and to the mayor saying, hey, if you're trying to replace the Farragut Business Alliance, no, that's not. Farragut Business Alliance has a position, Economic Development Coordinator has a position. You have to have someone who represents the government side of it, and then also someone who represents the business side. So when you start asking about how does someone get something done, or reached out and trying to find more businesses, that's where the Economic Development Coordinator is going to come in my humble opinion.
Thank you for the question, Reagan. So you want us to take the economic development coordinator's salary and just pave your road, correct?
Yeah.
Let's get on the budget. No, so yeah, the economic development coordinator position, from what I understand, again, is around 110 to 125 with benefits and everything added, and I don't exactly know the specific amount, but it's up there. I personally think that funds can be used better with spreading it around Farragut Business Alliance and maybe a little bit to the chamber and some other things as well. There are, like they said, different department people doing different parts of the job. I think part of that is because the rules are so strict that people don't know how to navigate them. And if we can revisit some of those codes and zones and rules, we may be able to kind of get people not having to deal with the problems they're having when they get their businesses started. I talked to a business owner recently at their ribbon cutting, and I said, how's it like starting a business in Farragut? And the response to me was, and I quote, "It's the worst experience in my life." But why is that? Because of all the hoops and hurdles they had to jump through to get started. And once they get going, they love being in Farragut. But how can we eliminate that barrier? And I don't believe it's an economic development coordinator navigating the system for you. I think it's the system itself. And I think the funds can be used better elsewhere.
Another question. Steve.
Now that the hotel motel tax has got a few years under the belt, I believe about $500,000 or more in revenue is generated every year from that tax. Do you have a vision of where that money can go beyond the new signage program to help draw tourists to Farragut?
Well, Steve, as serving on the Tourism Advisory Committee, we have robust conversations that are open to the public, and they can come and join in and see what we're doing and the ideas that we have to bring events to the town. I know one of the things we're working on, I'm going to keep that on the wraps, Candace, for a while. Candace is working on something pretty big for the town, and it's a surprise for everybody. But I talked to her if you want to know more. But I think it's, we have the revenue to spend, and I think we need to there's opportunities in the town to have some events that I think would draw some people in. And we need to draw people. Our goal for tourism is not to put on an event for the town of Farragut. Our goal is to draw people from Loudoun County, Rowan County, Anderson County to come here and spend their money here because we need their sales tax money to increase our revenues. It doesn't make sense for us to take it out of one pocket and put it into another pocket in our own community. We need to draw those people in. So I think there's definitely some opportunities for some events. We have some great parks. Let's try to use them for some festivals and entertainment options. I think there's a great opportunity there, and we have the money, and Allie and the team do a great job of putting on their stuff. There's definitely some opportunities to promote it better and get people here.
Can you mention people? I forgot.
People from Halls come to.
Oh, yeah, no, don't take the money all you want, please. I'll take a check.
I was not a fan of the hotel tax when they first decided. I was like, this doesn't make sense. We are not a tourist destination. We are not Pigeon Forge, we're not Gatlinburg. Why would anybody come to Farragut, and why do we want them here? And my mind's changed. I've seen Farragut put on some outstanding festivals. We're looking more for day travelers, people who come in and give money to the town because we run on a sales tax. So without that sales tax generation, it does, we're missing that. If we can get that sales tax coming in, there are very, very specific rules about what that hotel tax can be spent on. I don't know them all, but it's something that we can look at, take a hard look at, and see if there's something that we can do to further enliven the town. And because part of it is that money has to be used for tourism, to generate more tourism. It's not, oh, let's take that money and $100,000 for his road. No, it has to be used for tourism, and so there's specific rules.
And I had a question back here. Yeah.
Listening to your answer to the question, it was a great question, by the way. It seems like one of the goals is to bring tourism into Farragut. For the dollars spent, we need that revenue. How does that work with mitigating all the traffic issues that I hear? If the goal is to bring the tourists to Farragut because we need the money, how do we mitigate the congestion and the traffic that seems to be the plague for all of us?
Yeah, that's a good question. I appreciate it. Traffic's an issue. Traffic is going to be an issue. Traffic is the result of a thriving town. If you want to not have traffic, go to a town that is not thriving, that is not growing. We're a growing town. With tourism, hopefully when we bring these people in for an event, they're here and they leave. You think about something like Mayor Bob Lennon Park. What a great place. We bring people in from all over for tournaments, and just those kind of venues are great, and we're able to manage the traffic right there. It's not like they're coming in and staying forever. They come in and they leave, but it's part of having a thriving town. It's part of having events that we would like to participate in as well, and driving our sales taxes up.
Yeah, great question, Jenny, thank you. Traffic is an issue, obviously. Traffic, you said, is a result of a thriving town, and I agree, but traffic is also a result of Knox County's development on our borders. You look at all the development on Lovell Road, the several apartments, the new apartments coming on Snyder Road, Harvey Road, all around us. That's going back to my point of not having a seat at the table, not having great communication with the county, where we're being, I feel like we're being choked out to the point that the county's gonna come to us and be like, hey, guys, you wanna come back? And we're like, we have to make a decision, right? That's not gonna happen, I'm just saying. But they're putting that pressure on us. We can look at it as go, great, there's more people that are gonna come spend money here. But then there's also more cars on the road here. So we talk about tourism, going back to that, one of the suggestions, and this was, I'll bring it up, Candace, is our potential development of a town trolley system to get people from point A to point B to point C. So having designated parking areas so we can get people from the hotels to the restaurants, to the parks, to Biddle Farm, to shopping districts, and move people around accordingly. So when we have big events, we can coordinate that trolley and get people from A to B to C. So those are some of the things that we would be able to use hotel and motel tax on as well. So that's one of the ideas that we were kicking around a little bit. And again, traffic's gonna be an issue for growing, but having that seat at the table again to kind of mitigate development outside of our borders, we can't have our head in the sand just because we're in Farragut. We have to pay attention to what's going on in the county, and we have to have that seat.
Yes.
I'm a little confused, and I realize it doesn't take much for me to get there, but
Confusing
what I'm
tax.
hearing is, we've got a tax for the hotels, because we're gonna use that money to develop attractions, events, or other attractions, so more people will come here. That's gonna make a lot more traffic, and did the tax really, and then we can only spend it on the attractions? Or things that will draw people here who don't live here? And how's that gonna, why is that good for traffic? Why is it good for the character of the community that I've heard a lot of people talk about here tonight? It seems to me the tax is causing a problem that now we have to solve, and it's more money, and we can't spend it on transportation? This sounds like there was a solution hunting for a problem,
Okay. No, I agree, thank you for that. So the hotel motel tax can only be spent on tourism items. So events that would draw people in our tourism event. Once they're here and they spend their money, wherever they spend their money on a restaurant or whatever, that's sales tax revenue. That goes into the general fund to fill.
But we have to have a trolley to get them to the, I mean.
No, we don't have to have a trolley. We can have people park and market the events and do what we're doing now, and have you crowd up Founders Park for Light the Park and all those other fun events that we have, but where we can move people around effectively, efficiently as we grow, and we want people to come experience what we have here. We're just like double-edged sword, right? We want people to kind of come and check us out, but we don't want people to really stay. Move here because we're full. We want people to come and spend their money here, but we have to give them some reason to come spend their money here.
All right, we're gonna allow one more question. This gentleman back here has not asked a question yet.
I'm not asking a question, you can't hear me, I'm sorry. So the plan is to bring more people in here without some sort of security protection. Should we be thinking about, I don't know, like, I deal with it daily, 12,000 cars a day going up and down McPhee Road under that little bridge, speeding, doing whatever they want, playing their park on turn, ghetto blaster, boom, boom, boom. Like, you want more of that to come here? I mean, do you think that the residents will eventually say, I'm done, and like, compete, go to other competing communities that are maybe thinking more about residential colonists and the psychology of the residents versus bringing everybody into the town? So what is your plan to use some of this hotel tax to make sure we have some sort of police presence or some sort of sanity in place while our roads are getting ran?
Yes, unfortunately, the motel tax can't be used on a police force. It'd have to come from general fund and sales tax revenue. So again, the people that would come here, spend their money, if we increase our coffers, we may be able to use some of that towards a designated force. Now, unfortunately, running the numbers on a designated police force in the town of Farragut is upwards in several millions of dollars. I don't think we can afford that.
We're one of the richest towns in the United States, so just keep that in mind.
Right.
I want Dian to answer that as well.
Sure. Yes.
No, I appreciate the question, and it's a good question. There's a few things. One, I don't know if you're advocating for us to have our own police department. If we were to do that, I really think we would have to look seriously at a property tax. And that would be something that I don't think many community or citizens would step up and say yes. I frequently look at I guess because it's interesting, the Farragut Press and the Knox County Sheriff blotter. And it's nothing excessive. It really isn't. We have speeders. We have speeders that go through our streets. Is it enough to have our own police force? No. We are working to negotiate, not working to negotiate, we're asking the Knox County Sheriff's Office to step up to their responsibility and to bring officers here. If that falls through, because I saw the question, what if that falls through? Do you know how many other communities are around here that have police departments that we could reach out to and create an agreement with, whether it be Knoxville, Loudon, Anderson? There's all these communities that would be far better than us thinking, and it's not a couple million. Look at tens of millions of dollars to stand up a police department with all the personnel, all the equipment. So I'm not sure what's the rest of the question? Is there more to the question?
Honestly, this is going to extend well beyond your guys' 2 years. I would like to see a 2-year plan to say how good fair action path start the process of thinking and having documentation of the process and trying to do it. So I'll tell you, there's other, Lenore City has one, Owensville has one, Signal Mountain has one. Every one of those towns has half the population of fair.
Yeah, they all play the same part. So you're advocating for
I want to tell you,
Department.
people buying this, I talk to them daily, I'll go to some of them fee now, they're buying multi-million-dollar homes, they're not gonna care about $500,000 more. And that's what I'm seeing is a difference. So the plan that should happen now, I'm saying it should occur, that there should be like for future generations that take over the government. It's something that.
And I would not have any problem with having that discussion. In fact, I would go to whoever the next mayor is and say, maybe we need a committee of citizens, because that's the way this community runs. Citizens on communities who bring stuff to the staff, or they work with the staff, which the staff then brings to BOMA. I'm on the Parks and Athletics Council. The budget that Ron Osterreich brings forward to BOMA goes through us before it ever gets to the BOMA. So you have that one stopgap. If you want to do that, let's explore it. I'm all for exploring it, but it's not just going to be throw it on the staff and say, you guys do the study, or let's just get a contractor. It should be citizens involved in their community. What do you want? What can we do with guidance from the staff?
Let's thank them for being here.